Particles and light leaks, two of my favorite effects to use in transitions. Today we're going to combine both of those to make a Thanos style snap transition. Hi everyone, my name is Mackinac. I am your graphics guide and welcome to the channel where we design graphics for content creators. If you're brand new here, please don't forget to subscribe and then hit that bell icon. That way you're notified when new content is released. On this video, we're building a stinger transition step by step using light leaks, particle effects, and a little creativity. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I'll be giving you guys some tools to make your editing easier. So without further ado, let's look at the transition. Our first step is gathering the content. We need to make sure we have all the sound effects that we will need for this transition. And here they are. We got 4. We got wind blowing. We got wind impact. We got the boom sound effect as well as the fingers snap itself. On top of that, we will need the flare. This is the light leak. And we will need to add in our logo. Our next step is to create the compositions themselves. We'll have 2 separate fusion compositions for this transition. In order to accomplish that, we want to make sure our effects library is open, which should show up here at the very bottom. You'll scroll down till you see fusion composition, click and drag 2 separate fusion compositions into the mix. Now you see they're exceptionally long. We're going to want to change that clip duration, so we'll go ahead and set that to 2 seconds for the first one. Change and bring the second one over. Change that over to 330. There we go. Next, we're going to want to edit. So make sure you select that first fusion composition, your markers at the beginning of that fusion composition, and select the fusion tab. Once in the fusion tab, you're going to want to right click, make sure you have arrange tools, set to grid. That way it snaps and it kind of makes it a little cleaner. You're going to click and hold drag that logo that you want to use. This will be your logo. We're using mine for this example. With that highlighted in red, we're going to go ahead and just click the transform node up here. So once your transform node is in there and you're connected to media 1, you want to connect transform node over to media out. That'll show up on the screen. Now we're going to go ahead and change a couple of aspects to this. You notice how the logo is a little bit bigger than we want. We're going to bring that down to about 0.75. You can type that in it, or you can just click and drag it and hold it, whatever you want to do. For me, I like it that way. Now how I want this transition, this is the first 2 seconds, so I just want that logo to come in. This is the whole purpose of this fusion composition, is to get that logo to show up on the screen. So I want the logo to be present around the 30 frame marker. So we're going to head and keyframe that. We need to keyframe the angle, keyframe the pivot, and keyframe the center. That way everything is set, because we're going to go ahead and mess with these here in a minute. So now that our logo is set up exactly where we want, we're going to want to go ahead and adjust a few things. So we go back down to 0. And from the 0, we're going to adjust pivot first. I'm going to take that pivot and I'm going to take it to about a 0.2. And on the X and on the Y, we're going to bring that all the way up to about a 1, I do believe. If I'm not mistaken, that 1. I get it right? Because that should be right on the line. And there we are. 1. Beautiful. Now for the center on X, we're only going to want to change that. We don't want to change the Y. We're going to bring that where the crosshair is just about 0.3. And that should be right in that top left corner. Now we'll change the angle to about 150, 160, somewhere around there. And we're going to adjust the size all the way up. So what that's going to look like once you play through, because you have a keyframe, so we're at 30 and at 0, it should just slide right in. All right, now what you're seeing on here is it's just very crisp. I want a little bit smooth transitions on that. So how we're going to do that is we're going to click splines, click the transform node. We're going to open this up a little bit. I want to make sure that I see all of them, so you hit zoom to fit, and that brings up all of the transform node animations in the screen themselves. What we're going to do is left click, hold, and drag to make a box. Select all the nodes or the animation nodes, and we're going to hit F. That's going to smooth everything out. So I'm going to close out splines, and this is what it's going to look like. Just a little bit smoother on everything. Once we're complete with that first fusion composition, we're going to want to head back over to the Edit tab. You'll notice that your second fusion composition is ready for you, waiting. Go ahead and click that, make sure it's highlighted, make sure our marker is set right before that fusion composition. Go ahead and hit the Fusion tab, it'll open you back up here. Make sure you right click, go to Arrange Tools, make sure you're still snapped to grid, you should be. There's your media out. We need to add a few more things. We're going to add that gear wrench back in, so I'm just going to go ahead and drag that back. We're going to add another transform node that we're going to set the size of that back to our 0.75. For this video, that's where it's going to stay. The next thing we want to do is grab our particle dissolve macro and bring it in. This macro is the most useful macro ever, and this is what's going to create the magic for our transition. That particle dissolve macro was created by another YouTuber. He's an amazing content creator, and I'm going to have all his information linked down in the description below. For this node, what we're going to do is set a keyframe to 0. For it, we'll do transition completion, hit a keyframe there, and we're going to go all the way over to 102 and set another keyframe, but bring it all the way to 1. That way we have a completion of a transition here. So I'm going to let this render out real quick, and then I'll be right back. That took me about a minute to render that whole scene out. It really does vary depending on the type of computer you have, how much RAM, how much CPU you have. But here's what it looks like. Back at the Edit tab, let's go ahead and add in our flare transition. Bring that into the scene. We want to unlink the audio from the flare. So we'll go ahead and right click, click link clip, deselect everything so you can only select the audio, right click, delete selected. So all we have left is just the actual image or the video itself of the light leak. We're going to change that to a little bit of a faster speed because this right now is a little slow for what we want. So I'm going to double it. We're going to take that to 200%, change, and I'm just going to bring that clip center up between the two fusion compositions. Bring the clip to where the light is practically covering the entire scene. And that's good, but we still have some black portions of the background in the corners. In order to change that, we want the entire thing white. We'll go up to transform up here where it says zoom X. They're both linked, so they'll both edit together. Just click, hold, and drag it to the right until you completely cover the entire frame. So the next thing we have to do, once you have that, is change the background of this flare transition to a transparent background, because right now it is not. You see, it's just very dark because here's where our logo is sitting, and we want to be able to see that logo. In order to do that, up here where it says composite mode, click that, go down to the very bottom, you should see screen, and that's going to change it just like that. That way we see our background or our logo behind the flare. So we'll go through here, it's just gonna light up this screen, and don't worry so much about the fact that you can still kind of see the logo in the background. It's fine, we're not really changing much here anyway, and it's gonna be fast, you won't even realize it. So once that moves over, we're looking good, and it's gonna start doing the transition. There it is right there, and our dissolve. Beautiful. So now what we have to do is we're going to clean that up just a little bit more, make the luminance a little brighter. So to do that, we're going to make sure we're selecting the flare transition and go over to the color tab. In the color tab, you'll have the scene showing right where we were. And you're going to want to right click that scene over here on the node tab, hit add matte, flare transition. So that'll be the exact one there. There'll be only one. It's going to connect to that first node. You want to go ahead and just click and drag that off, removing that node from the external matte. Now you want to go ahead and right click the background, hit add alpha output, and it just, any of these blue markers, you could just click and drag over to that alpha output. What this is going to do is just going to turn that luminance just a little bit brighter, just to give it a nice effect. And that's going to complete the visuals for this design. We'll go back to the edit tab and we'll start adding our sound effects into this scene. So I'll come back to the front, and the first thing we're going to want is the wind impact. So we'll bring that to just about right here. I'm gonna go ahead and shrink this down. We don't need that second portion of the wind. Right about there. And these are gonna be super loud, so you wanna change these. I'm gonna normalize the volume. You hit right click, normalize audio volumes. It'll automatically sit to 9. This one, take it to 9, it's fine. So let's try that, see where we're at. Nope, don't like where that's at. Let's move it over, try it again. A little bit more. There we go. That's exactly where we want it. So that one's set. Let's go ahead and set the snap. And we'll drag that down to the audio 2 channel. And you see how that's got a long duration prior to a snap? The easiest way to do that is if you move over to the left side of the sound clip, you just click and drag that sucker all the way over till we just get to the snap. And there's gonna be a whole bunch of snaps in here. So we'll go into the cut tab here, the blade. Make sure we cut right before that second snap. Go back to our select tool so we don't delete anything else. Go in here, find the rest of that snap, and then we'll delete the selected. That way we only have just our snap. And we want to add that snap just when the flare hits. So it'll be like this. Just about right. Let's do it just before. Let's move it just a little bit more over. There we go. That works really well. I'm going to take this and just bring it in. I don't think we need it completely all the way that way. The next one we're going to want is the boom sound effect. The boom bass sound effect. We could probably line that right up because the snap will be heard first. This one is super loud as well, so we'll have to normalize the volume here. There we go. And let's see what that sounds like. All right, that is almost good. Let's bring it in slightly. Right there. And just kind of just move that into place. Right there. Let's see if that works. All right. That's getting better. I think we can do more to this. So what I'm going to want to do is shrink a lot of this down. And in order to get that volume, you can see how it's continuously trickling over. Then we're going to just take that fader and bring it to about 1. And the last one we're going to want is the wind blowing. And that's just going to be right at the end. And let's put it right there and see what that sounds like. All right, didn't work. Let's bring it over some more. How about now? All right, perfect. Bring this all the way to the end of the transition blade, and we'll clip that. Go ahead and select the rest of this stuff here. Right click, delete selected. Now we have a completed transition, and it's gonna look just like this. Pro tip, prior to rendering, you should really change everything into a compound clip where everything is wrapped up in one nice package. In order to do that, select one thing, hit Control A to select everything, right click and go to new compound clip. You can claim it, name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna keep it just compound clip 1. Create that sucker, and it's gonna go ahead and create this clip just like that. Let's go ahead and render this out. So that took about 2 minutes to render out. We are now completely blue, and let's go ahead and play our clip. All right, this serves as the last check prior to our rendering. Next thing we have to do is go over to the render tab, or the deliver tab, excuse me. This is where we're gonna wanna go ahead and change it to a .mov file. We'll hit H264, and that automatically sets everything up for success. Change the file name to snap transition. Change our location. You're gonna go ahead and pick that. And we're gonna go ahead and render individual clips. Once in the video tab here, make sure it's video, not audio. Verify that the format does say QuickTime. We're gonna wanna change the codec to GoPro Cineform. When you see type, go ahead and RGB 16. And what this does is allows you to export the alpha. This is what's going to make your transition a super successful transition. By exporting the alpha, you'll have the transparent background along with it, and it just makes things a lot better when you actually add this over to OBS or as slobs. So my render took about 2 minutes. That was actually pretty fast. The last step you're going to want to do prior to setting this up with OBS is change that .mov file over to a WebM format. The reasoning behind this is because your .mov file is a massive file. When you try to add that in as a stinger transition in OBS or slobs, it will bog down your CPU. My recommendation is to go to Google, type in .mov to .webm converter, and find one that best suits your needs. Once we've successfully created our WebM format, we're going to want to add that into OBS or slobs. Here we're going to go ahead and do the OBS version. So what I'll do is hit that plus sign, go to Stinger, rename that to Snap, hit OK, find the file we're looking for, and we're going to snap WebM right here. Time should be in milliseconds. Transition point will be 2020. If I did that correctly, let's find out. Change your audio monitoring to monitor and output, and hit OK. Last, let's test. Beautiful. Now, if you're unsure about what light leak or sound effect you want to use for this transition, or you just don't know where to find something like that, or maybe you just need a nudge in the right direction, remember that bonus content I told you guys about? Well, here it is. If you click this link up here, it's going to take you to a Google folder. In that Google folder, it's going to have every bit of the sound effects, all of the light leaks, all of the Davinci Resolve settings that I use are going to be right there. The project will be right there for you guys to use. So that way you guys are kind of set up for success when you guys create your own video. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Those 3 things are free and they help out content creators such as myself. You guys find yourself a bit lost regarding any of these transitions, or you just want to know some more information, there are a few ways to get a hold of me. You can leave a comment down below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Mackinac, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm usually on stream about 2-3 hours, and I'm willing to help you guys out directly about these transitions, so just feel free to pop in and ask me anything. Don't forget to check out the rest of my channel for amazing transition tutorial videos and cool graphics. Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Hi everyone, my name is Mackinac. I am your graphic guide, and welcome to the channel where we design graphics for content creators. If you're brand new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you'll know when new content